Communist California declares itself sanctuary state. Trump's DHS has brilliant counteroffer by that conservative girl. Politics US News from AdWorldNews.com. California might as well be its own communist country after declaring itself a sanctuary state. However, they've got another thing coming if they think President Donald Trump is going to let them get away with such lawlessness. The Department of Homeland Security has issued a brilliant counteroffer to California's new sanctuary policy, and you're going to love it. President Donald Trump made a lot of promises to the American people on the campaign trail, as all candidates do when they're running for office. However, the one thing which sets Trump apart from politicians who pander to their voter base is in a shameless attempt to secure their support is the fact that Trump has actually followed through with the majority of the vows he made to Americans. One of the key promises that candidate Donald Trump made was to clean up the streets of America. Deporting illegal aliens is essential to making America safe again. But a new report suggests that the Trump administration is willing to go even further in their quest to get a handle on the rampant illegal immigration which is plaguing our country. According to Stephen Dienan of the Washington Times, Homeland Security head Christian Nielsen told the Senate Judiciary Committee on Tuesday that her department is preparing to arrest leaders of sanctuary cities. Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen confirmed Tuesday that her department has asked federal prosecutors to see if they can lodge criminal charges against sanctuary cities that refuse to cooperate with federal deportation efforts. The Department of Justice is reviewing what avenues may be available, Ms. Nielsen told the Senate Judiciary Committee. Her confirmation came after California's new sanctuary law went into effect January 1st, severely restricting cooperation the state or any of its localities could offer, source Washington Times. This would not be the first time an official has called for the arrest of leaders of sanctuary cities. Previously, Bristol County Sheriff Thomas Hodgson, told the House Subcommittee on Illegal Immigration that sanctuary cities have become magnets for illegal aliens, some of which have violent criminal records. If these sanctuary cities are going to harbor and conceal criminal illegal aliens from ICE, which is in direct violation to Title 8 of the U.S. Code, federal arrest warrants should be issued for their elected officials, said Hodgson. I can't say that. Our citizens would be safer if we never stopped enforcing immigration law, and if we never formed or turned a blind eye towards sanctuary cities. According to the Gateway Pundit, in October, the Department of Justice gave a final warning to 4 sanctuary cities and 1 county after they failed to comply with federal immigration laws, saying in a statement, the Justice Department today responded to 7 jurisdictions following a preliminary assessment of the jurisdiction's compliance with 8 U.S.C. 1373. These jurisdictions were identified in a May 2016 report by the Department of Justice Inspector General as having laws that potentially violate 8 U.S.C. 1373. And the following jurisdictions have preliminarily been found to have laws, policies, or practices that may violate 8 U.S.C. 1373. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said at the time jurisdictions that adopt so-called sanctuary policies also adopt the view that the protection of criminal aliens is more important than the protection of law-abiding citizens and of the rule of law. I commend the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office and the state of Connecticut on their commitment to complying with the Section 1373, and I urge all jurisdictions found to be out of compliance in this preliminary review. And it goes on and on. Let's take a listen to the clip. Sorry.
Well, the sanctuary city fight in full swing as one Massachusetts sheriff is now calling for the arrest of leaders in sanctuary cities. This after a Democratic representative in Massachusetts, Michelle Dubois, came under fire for a Facebook post warning illegal immigrants about rumored ICE raids yesterday, a post which she later altered and updated with a request for donations. Right now it stands at 0. Bristol County Sheriff Thomas Hodgson calls her actions irresponsible, and he joins us from our nation's capital. Sheriff, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
What's she doing?
You know, I think that's what most people in Massachusetts and across the country are asking. It's hard to imagine, it's unconscionable that an elected official would be sending out an alert that would put ICE officers at risk and our local officers at risk on dealing with these transnational gangs and these criminally illegal aliens when we're getting ready to do a raid. We need that element of surprise. Never mind allowing these people to maybe avoid being apprehended and going off into some other community and committing some crime against innocent people later on.
Sure. You know, I think what is getting lost in this, and first up, let's put up her post that we talked about yesterday. She wrote on Facebook, I got the following information from my friend in the Latin community. I have a message for the immigrant community of Brockton. Please be careful yesterday. ICE will be in Brockton on that day. Okay, what's getting lost here, Sheriff, is the fact that, you know, if she's trying to address people who are in this country illegally without a criminal record, that's one thing. But she's also alerting, if that was her intention, people who are in this country illegally and have a criminal record or have a warrant out for their arrest, telling them as well, hey, look out, don't open the door because the bad guys are coming for you.
And what would she do, Steve, if it was a DEA raid with one of our task forces? Would she notify the smugglers and the drug dealers about the same thing? But this is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard an elected official to do, completely undermining their oath and undermining law enforcement's efforts to keep the community safe.
I understand you had a meeting yesterday, you got another one today. You say leaders of sanctuary cities should be arrested. Explain that idea.
Look, any elected official in this country that openly defies federal law under Section 1324 clearly states anyone who knows someone to be in the country illegally and attempts to harbor or conceal them commits a felony under federal law up to 5 years per alien. And any elected official shouldn't be held less accountable for consequences when they violate federal law than are their constituents. So they can't take license because they're elected officials and decide if they don't have the courage or the will to go to Washington and lobby to change the law.
Sure.
Don't tell us that you're going to decide how it's going to go or tell law enforcement to turn our backs on our oath.
You know, we had a report about an hour ago, Sheriff. Griff Jenkins was at that meeting yesterday, and it's interesting because a number of top law enforcement officials from these sanctuary cities are essentially in denial. What are you talking about? We're not a sanctuary city, because they want to keep the money.
Right. And that's really what this is about. That's why they're there. They're more concerned about the money. But look, we're not going to back down on this issue. The president's absolutely right in insisting that sanctuary cities be penalized if they're not going to follow federal law. You can't just ignore it. Otherwise, what's going to happen is other communities will say, well, I guess, and the public will say, I guess they really aren't serious about it.
Yeah. Speaking of the public, it would be interesting. Ainsley interviewed one of the Angel Moms yesterday who said, if you put this up for a vote in these sanctuary cities, most people in these sanctuary cities would probably vote on the side of law enforcement.
Oh, there's no question about it. Look, I don't care what your party affiliation is. People want to be safe, and that's the fundamental responsibility of government. So there's no question about that.
All right. Sheriff, we thank you very much. We know you got a busy agenda today.
You see? So, that legislation took effect on January 1st, and it appears that the Trump administration is wasting no time in doling out repercussions to those local leaders who buck federal immigration law, thereby putting the American people at risk in order to accommodate individuals who broke the law by coming here in the first place. Yeah, and add to that and have the American people not only have these people in that broke the law, you're paying for them also. That's the main thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.